as much as, people like to hate on TikTok, there's some really creative, funny people out there making some great content. And one guy I follow, Matt Bushell, made one that he walks through the streets of New York with general observations. This one is about checking your bank account on Monday, and YOLO is the theme here. So I want you to see this for the first time. All right. We'll get your reaction.
Every Monday I play my least favorite game show. It's called Should I Check My Bank Account or Should I Just Keep Being Happy? Because no one wins. It's kind of scary. I don't think A24 can make a scarier movie than the moment when you officially log in and see that credit card number. You're like, how much have I racked up on this thing? And the second you see it, it's always a little too high. So you're like, well, I will be composing a strongly worded email to the bank to let them know that fraud has been committed on my account. And then you click it because all the pending stuff, now that it's Monday, has gone through to penned it, I guess is the word. And then you look at it, you're like, hey, let's see what happened here. Let's see if I can find what happened. You're like, well, I did go get dinner there. And then, I did go get drinks at that bar with and then, we did take that Uber across town. Kevin did Venmo me $10 for the $70 Uber. So that's pretty much fine. And then, we did go to that bar. You're like, okay, that's fine. And then you see one thing, you're like, a boogie company, $50 to boogie company. And you're like, I got it. I found the fraud. And then you remember in the Uber, you bought a weird t-shirt from an Instagram ad from a brand you've never heard of. You're like, oh, nope, they got me this time. They got me. And it's so sad. There's nothing you can do. You just have to admit defeat, close out of the bank app, go into Google and just type in how to actually cook dinner.
Okay, so I get the YOLO reference.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's walking through the average kind of millennial Gen Z's lifestyle, and they're going, there's got to be fraud in here somewhere. I didn't spend all this money.
Right.
And it turns out it was all him at the end of the day. So he's a funny creator and really taps into what people are feeling these days, which is, I'm broke, I have almost no money in the bank, but I want the happiness on this side. I want the YOLO. I want to go out with my friends. I want to enjoy my life. And they feel like they can't have both. And we know that's not true. But we also know it takes sacrifice. And you can't go out every weekend to all 4 bars and go Uber all around town and buy anything you want from Instagram and still have money in the bank.
I'm going to come up with a new thing for this.
What is it?
I to I.
Oh, no.
The letter I. I know.
I, number 2.
And then I. Injury to insult is what this practice is. I'm going to get in. I know I'm broke, but I don't know how I'm broke. I know I'm broke, but I've got to go back and do this awful scavenger hunt in my bank account and just keep getting an injury and the insult. That's so an old phrase. It's terrible.
I hope Gen Z picks that one up, Ken.
They're not going to.
Who came up with that one? Yeah. Oh, this 47-year-old guy, Ken Coleman.
Yeah,
Look him up.
This old boomer is trying to wear a hoodie to look cool next to George.
Oh, that's good.
No, but you understand what I'm saying. It's that's horrible. Oh gosh.
Well, the key is
so
we know exactly what we're doing to ourselves, but we don't want to feel any pain, which by pain I mean getting on a budget, being intentional, saying no to friends, having the boundaries to say, "Hey man, I'm trying to get out of debt. I want to have more than $40 in my bank account at any given moment," which means I'm going to be side hustling, driving for Uber instead of getting into an Uber.
Yeah.
And that's a very different mentality. And that's what I had to do when I was getting out of debt. I drove for Uber and Lyft. So I was downtown Nashville on the weekends, Ken, but I was doing it because I was trying to make an extra $40, $50, $60, $70 that night to pay off debt.
Here's one more old man idea here on this. If you're young, you're out hanging out with everybody every night, that food and drink, it better be really good because you are kind of forfeiting your future. You are delaying real independence, real financial freedom, all because you want to go have, not even that good of an appetizer.
Well, they go, well, Ken, I couldn't cook this at home. And I get this feedback, Ken. Well, cooking at home, it's even more expensive than eating out. Goodness gracious. Because here's what they do. They go willy-nilly to the grocery store, get all this stuff, they make one meal out of it, throw the rest away, and then complain that $90 on groceries is more expensive than $40 on eating out.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
You know what you ought to do? It'll be a fun video for you on TikTok and YouTube is take some young Gen Zers that are single and working and take them to Costco.
Oh.
And literally shop for them.
It would be my heart's delight.
I know. You would love that, wouldn't you?
Yes.
It'd be a good video. Literally go, okay, now look, I'm literally going to shop for you for a month. Cut of food you like, and then you go on there and you go, now look, this will last
They tell me their budget.
Yes.
And we shop within that budget.
Yeah, they think you're going to work miracles.
Man, this is a great idea. If any Gen Zers are open to hanging out with me and going to Costco,
Yeah.
let me know.
Yeah, at George Campbell.
Maybe
All right.
Ken will tag along. We'll get some free samples.
Yeah, I tell you what, and I could just be the old guy who eats the samples and comments on the samples. That's a good pot sticker right there. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know why I'm doing that
It's the
voice.
content America needs.
Yeah.
AJ is starting off this hour in Cincinnati. Hey, AJ, what's up?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
I just have a question for you. My situation is a little rough, so I apologize for starting out your show on a horrible note. But my husband decided to walk out on our marriage. We've been married for 8 years, and this was at Christmas time this past year. And this was all while I was 9 months pregnant with our third baby.
Wow.
He is still contributing financially to our bank account. However, he's basically moved out with his sister. Basically, as soon as I got home from the hospital, he was gone. And he is at the point where he's pushing me to divorce. And pretty much quickly, he wants to get his own place, and so he wants to sell our house super quick. And I'm kind of coming to grips with the fact that, I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I'm kind of understanding now I'm at the point where I'm going to have to become a full-time worker in my future. Mm-hmm. I'm a believer in Christ, so I know that he holds my future, mm-hmm. But I'm scared at the same time. And, if I'm your daughter in this situation, what do I need to do for my financial future?
Mm. I'm so sorry. That is scary. It's very scary.
Yeah.
So what in the world has he just, gone off the ranch? That's just wild.
Yeah, he doesn't really tell, I'm assuming it's because there's another person, but he won't admit that ever. Mm-hmm. And I've also recently found out that, he's gotten himself into a $30,000 gambling debt that occurred 2 years ago when I thought we had been tithing to our church. Come to find out we weren't. And he had been paying about $500 something a month just to pay that debt. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of
so the debt is that debt in his name only?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And what does he earn a year?
He just got a new job where he's making $105,000.
Okay. All right.
And I work part-time from home. I make $6,000.
Okay.
So
let's first establish that it's a normal human in your situation would be afraid, and right after that you would be angry.
Correct.
Okay. And then and then while you're doing all of that, you also have to stop and set those two things aside for purposes of negotiating with him. Because he's a world-class liar and manipulator, because he's a gambling addict. And so I know that. I know that he's an addict because of the amount of debt and the fact that he was hiding all of it.
Yeah.
Okay? And so, 100% of addicts, and addicts will all shake their head with me, are manipulators and liars. It goes with the disease. Okay?
Yeah.
So you got to understand that's what you're dealing with. And so a friend of mine that does divorce recovery says divorce turns a marriage into a business transaction. And so you are in a business partnership with a person who manipulates, lies, and is addicted to gambling. Mm-hmm. You will not let him, listen to me carefully, you will not let him set the terms of this divorce.
Yeah.
He is not in control of this. You are.
Right.
You're going to take everything for those kids.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. And I think because he makes the bulk of the income, he thinks that he can control it.
No,
and
it's the opposite. You're about to control the bulk of his income. It's called child support for 3 kids. One that was just born. The judge is going to knock the mathematics into next week. He is not going to like this process.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Can you imagine going before the judge with a newborn?
Right.
And this guy's a gambling addict. Can you imagine how bad the judge is going to beat the snot out of him? Okay? So you totally are in a position of power here. While you're afraid, while you're angry, you set those two things aside. From a negotiator's perspective, you hold all the cards. He's got none. No pun intended. Mm-hmm. Okay, you really got to hear that loud and clear, because child support for these 3 kids on $100 and something thousand a year, it needs to be sub-freaking-stantial.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Okay, now what do you guys owe on this home?
We're currently owe about $115. We just moved in about a year ago.
What is the home worth?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. I tried to get it out.
Is it worth $500 or $200?
I would say probably $200.
Okay, you got a little equity then, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, he knows a lot more of that than I do. So.
Well, is there anything in his 401k?
Like $1,500, not much at all. Like, we have barely anything in savings. So.
Okay, do you have any other debts? Car?
I have my car, and he has his car.
Debt?
That I leased my car. Okay. So, and that's it. I have
is
about $10,000 on my car. Is that exclusively
in your name?
No, it's in his name.
Good. Is the other car exclusively in his name?
Yeah, he just bought it like a week ago.
Good.
So he's making lots of good decisions.
Good. So the judge is about to give him 2 leased cars, and you're going to get you a beater.
Okay.
That you pay cash for. You don't need a car payment.
Right.
So you got a big pile of child support, no car payment, and no debt, except maybe you keep this house. That's a decision we'll think of later, okay?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Kind of hearing how this is going? Now, what are you going to do? What do you think you're going to do for a living?
That's another thing. I have an associate's degree, so
what?
That was another in office administration.
How long has it been since you've worked?
I work from home still with the same job, but full time it's been about 4 years.
What did you make last time you worked full time?
Like $30,000.
Okay, so here's the last piece of the equation then. Okay, yes, you're going back to work. Yes, you're going to have a big pile of child support. No, you're not going to have any car payments. You're not going to let him hand you that car. He gets these cars. They're in his name. They're his problem.
Okay.
And this is your negotiation, and you're in control. Believe me. You're going to get what you want in this negotiation if you will stand strong, because you have the story to tell, and he, by the very nature of this story, becomes the bad guy. I'm not trying to beat him up. I'm trying to protect your kids.
Yeah.
And I got a $30,000 a year single mom with 3 kids on the line. That's all I'm concerned about. His welfare is not on my list of things to worry about right now. Okay?
Right.
And yours either.
Okay.
Yours either.
Right.
Yours either. You didn't take him to raise. You took them other 3 to raise, but you didn't take this one to raise.
Okay, well, thank you, sir.
And listen, I want you to go through Financial Peace University as our gift. We're going to put you in the class and the 1-year membership, so you've got access to all the videos. And I think you're going to get a job making $45,000, and I think you're going to get a pile of child support, and you're probably going to be able to afford to stay in the house. That's questionable right now, but don't keep the house if you can't afford it, okay? Sell it and go rent something cheap. And don't let this redefine your whole life. This is just the beginning of the next chapter of your life, kiddo. I'm sorry. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. All right, Danny is with us in Austin, Texas. Hi, Danny. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. Thanks for taking my call. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I'm in a bit of a bad situation with my mother. I'm currently 28 years old, and she helped me take out some student loans, and it was time for me to go to school. We had no savings for my college, and about $19,000 of that is strictly in her name in the form of Parent Plus loan, or it was. I've paid out about half of it now. Our original agreement when we took it out was that she would pay half of the monthly payment every month, and that happened for 1 month until my stepdad found out, and he didn't like that very much, so she snuck some cash to me the next month, and after that, I've been pretty much on my own paying this loan.
Hey, wait a minute. A Parent Plus loan is not in your name. It's in her name.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So have you, your agreement was that you were going to pay half and she was going to pay half, and you have already paid half.
Yes, sir. I paid,
tell her it's hers.
Half.
Tell her it's hers.
Okay.
It's in her name.
I recently did that. She received some inheritance, a large sum payout from my grandparents recently passing, and I had a discussion with her, and it did not go well.
I don't care.
Okay.
Listen, you are taking emotional responsibility for somebody else's crap because your stepdad is a jerk. Did I miss something?
No, sir.
Your mother took out a loan in your mother's name that your mother is responsible for morally with the agreement she made with you and legally to the bank. Am I missing something?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm not trying to be mean to you, but she's being mean to you. And they're throwing guilt trips at you like they're travel agent for guilt trips.
They are, and that's been my dilemma this whole time.
Yeah. So
my husband says that we're done paying it.
Your husband is exactly right. He's got a backbone. So here's how the conversation goes. Call and get mom and stepdad on the phone. Okay? Do they live in your area?
They do. They do.
Good.
They live about 10 minutes away.
Great. The four of you sit down. Have a cup of coffee. And it sounds like this. Mom, we made an agreement. You took out a loan in your name. You were responsible for half. I was responsible for half. Morally, I was responsible for the half. Legally, not at all. But I've paid my half. And so now, Mom, this is your loan. That was our agreement. If that upsets you, I'm sorry, but I'm holding you to the agreement you made with your daughter regarding her education. I'm not paying this. It's yours, Mom. Have a good evening.
Okay.
Stand up and walk out. And if they flop in the floor and foam at the mouth, that's on them. It's not your fault. Honey, you didn't do anything wrong. They've been playing you like a fiddle. Your emotions have been torn up. Your stomach's been in a knot. Your throat's been tight for 5 years over this. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, she's been beating the snot out of you emotionally with her erratic behavior, and you're a grown woman and your husband has said enough. And I'm with your husband. I'm on his team. Your mom and your stepdad are wrong and they're out of control with the story you gave me.
Yes, sir.
And so just be kind, but be very, very firm and very clear. You don't have to raise your voice. There's no cuss words involved. Mom and stepdad, I love you guys, and I know you don't understand this, and I know you don't like it, but that really has become irrelevant at this point. The agreement we made was that you were going to pay half. I have already paid half. It's in your name. Here's the paperwork. I hope it works out for you.
Okay.
The good news is it's not in your name, and you're not trying to collect from them. It's just right there in her lap, and if she doesn't pay it, they're going to call her. It's not your problem. Yeah. It's not going to be your problem. It's her problem. That's the beauty of this. It's very clean. The downside is that it's just going to be a problem in the relationship. But guess what? There's already a problem in the relationship.
Yes.
You're being abused. And so I'm going to send you a copy of a book called Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud, because your mom and your stepdad don't have any, and you're going to have to help them have some. And I will give you this from experience. When you set boundaries with people who don't want you to set boundaries, who want to cross over into your yard and have their dog poop in your yard, when they cross over the boundaries and then you tell them they can't do that anymore, they have to stay in their own yard and take care of their own business, they get very angry. It's not unusual at all. So I do not expect this to end well on the short term. I think they're going to have a fit. But I'm past caring on your behalf. I agree with your husband. He's put up with this long enough. I would not give another dime to this. And if you do, you need to see a coach or a counselor and get some help, because you've been messed up by the situation. It's just horrible. I'm so sorry. So hold on, and Kelly's going to pick up, and we're going to send you a copy of the book Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. You'll actually read the book and go, I know these people. Yeah, it's in there. Hey, good luck with it, kiddo. But please stand your ground. You've done enough. You've done your part and then some. And you've put up with this far too long. Joy is in Cincinnati. Hey, Joy, what's up?
Hi, I am so honored. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Dave and Dr. Delaney. I am a retired law enforcement officer. I get a pension, but I listened to Dave Ramsey and I went back to work part-time. So actually I'm sitting in the parking lot right now getting ready to go in. And every time I want to quit, I keep saying, nope, Dave will say no. But anyway, my husband was an active duty, career Marine. He also retired. He gets a pension, but he does have a lot of service-related problems. He did get a full-time job with the post office, but it just got so bad on him, he had to quit his full-time job with them. We still get a pension, but we're struggling I want to get us out of debt. And I'm struggling, I should say.
What's your question before I run out of time?
I'm sorry. We have a 19-year-old son at home. He's our only child. We started late. My husband treats him like he's still 6. My husband's the marshmallow. I'm the mean one. I want him to get out of the house, get a job, and help. If he's going to stay there, I want him to pay almost rent. And he won't. He won't get out of his room. He sits on his computer and plays games. I don't want him to hate me because I have to be the mean one to get him to do something.
Your husband's the mean one.
Yeah, your husband's handicapping that poor boy, hurting him.
He doesn't see it that way. And my husband also has traumatic brain injury.
Sure.
So I'm walking on eggshells with that. PTSD, traumatic brain injury.
So if you take your 19-year-old and you tell him that he's got 30 days or 60 days or 90 days to go find a job and get out, he's going to be mad at you and he's going to say mean things. If you let him live there till he's 30, then he's going to hate you.
When he was 4 and you made him brush his teeth, he got mad too.
And it was the right thing to do.
But we still made him brush his freaking teeth.
That's right.
Because we love him and he needs teeth when he's older.
It feels like he might be a blanket, a security blanket for your husband right now, and I'm not saying that facetiously. I get that he's probably a therapy pet for your husband right now, right? He's somebody that your husband can count on.
He's got to
he's got to get out of the house.
He stays in his room.
He needs to get out of the house.
Well, and listen, he stays in his room because y'all allow it.
Yeah.
He stays in his room because y'all allow it, right? It's got to stop.
He needs to move out, Mom.
Yeah.
You gotta love him enough to move him out. He needs to get it's time. He's functioning on a 14-year-old level because you're letting him, and it's not going to work out well because he's never going to meet the special someone because they're not going to come to his room.
Let's go to La Crosse, Wisconsin, where Mark joins us. Mark, how can we help?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
So the question, before my wife and I got married, it'll be 13 years in October.
Congrats.
We took the financial peace. Oh, thank you. We had a choice between financial peace or marriage classes, and I said financial peace. She said marriage classes. We did both. I recently lost my job in July, and this past October, I got a different job, and I've been listening to you guys on podcasts. Anyhow, the whole point of the question is, since we were married, we have had separate checking and savings account, and then a joint savings for tax refunds and whatnot. My question for you guys, I recently listened to your podcast yesterday, and talking about combining everything. And I asked her about it, and she really wasn't on board with it because we've been doing it for so long, and it's not really broken. So she's like, why do we need to fix anything if it's not broken? So my question for you, just keep doing things the way we have been. There hasn't been any real financial issues.
Yeah.
Our house is paid for. Pretty much we're almost debt-free, so...
That's awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, you called. Rachel can help you with this, but I'm just curious before she dives in here. Why you called asking if it's okay, which tells me you may or may not think it is okay, or one of you thinks it's okay and one of you doesn't. Am I right or am I wrong?
I think it's relatively okay, but listening to you guys and previous podcast, you guys are like really saying that if marriage is working well, it's the best idea to do it.
I got it. So you're kind of wondering. All right, tell him, Rachel.
Yeah, in that segment, that was with John Deloney and myself. Yeah, and we talked about a study that we found from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, and it talked about how they did a study that when couples pool their money together, they actually experience greater relational satisfaction or are less likely to break up. Because here's the deal, Mark. Now, could the dollars and cents work with how you're doing it? Sure, absolutely. Like, I mean, it could literally, like you said, nothing's been broken. It could work.
Yeah.
But what I would argue is that it could be so much better because the things that you guys don't even know are there, and or the things that are not even being talked about because you are living in these separate checking accounts, that's the stuff that you miss out on. Because there is this level of kind of independence. I'm doing my thing over there, you're doing yours. But when you throw everything together, it's like it's a clash and a explosion in a good way that makes you kind of rethink things in a sense that, like, man, she's going to see that purchase, or he's going to know that I went there. And not that you're intentionally trying to hide anything, but there's just this level of openness that's there when you have your money together. So my thing would be, it may be working okay, but how much better could it be? Because it's going to force conversations that you're not forced to have right now. And again, not even just money conversations. Like Winston and I, we go through our week to talk about, like, okay, so what does our evenings look like? Because we got to figure out, are we picking up Chick-fil-A after the girls' gymnastics, or am I cooking? Like, what's happening? And you end up talking about the out to eat budget. You end up talking about what's going on in life and calendars. And man, this feels really busy right now. I know I'm exhausted. I know I've missed seeing you. Like, you end up in all these other conversations that combining your accounts brings. So it's not just the tactical side of money that you benefit from, but it's the relational side. Yeah. So that's what I would push you guys on. Do you feel a nudge, Mark, to do it differently? I know you heard us talk about it on the podcast, but do you think it would bring like a level of richness that's not there right now?
I feel like we communicate really well now. Like the only debt we have is truck payment, and we just talk about it. So we want to knock it out quick, and she's putting money each check, and then it comes directly out of my checking account, and we're just trying to. We communicate well to start with, but like you said, I get to hold each other accountable. Like, for example, our oldest daughter's in softball, so she went and got the batting helmet, then I went and got the bag and the fielding mask. So I mean, we're pretty open with each other about everything, but I can see your point about.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Holding each other accountable, you know?
So you feel like you are holding each other accountable?
I think we just trust each other.
Yeah. Let me tell you the flip side of this, because we get this call a lot on the Ramsey Show. Couples with separate accounts, Rachel, good people, well-meaning people. And when you have separate accounts and you're not really accountable, so you don't know what he has, she has, whatever. And we get the call, we had separate accounts, and my spouse ran up tens and tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt, and I just found out about it. That temptation could hit anybody. I mean, nobody's above that.
Yes.
So there's no judgment here. I'm just saying that's the reality of this when we have separate accounts, and then one person goes, well, I kind of get to do whatever I want to do in this.
Yeah.
And then maybe they get themselves in a hole.
Yeah.
We hear about gambling problems. We hear about spending problems. We got a call just last week, separate accounts, and the wife found out that the husband had racked up nearly $100,000 in credit card over legal fees for custody for a child from a previous marriage. She just found out about it.
Yeah.
This is bone-crushing kind of stuff.
And I would say, too, and I would be curious your thoughts on this, Ken, because this is how passionate I feel about it, Mark, is that you can go down like that road. What Ken just described for sure happens, 100%. But what even made me like, kind of like cringe, is that their daughter plays softball and she goes and buys part of the equipment and he goes and buys the other part. Do you know what I'm saying, Mark? Like there's just this level of a division that you're like, no, we're all supposed to go and buy the stuff, and it comes out and it's not a big deal. It's the dividing roommate.
It's weird.
Feeling.
So like,
and I'm not trying to say you're weird, Mark. Like I want you to hear a lot of of grace in this, okay? Because I get that it's working, and it's almost the same mindset when people use credit cards. Like, but I pay it off every month. But you have no idea how much more you're spending when you don't have the emotions attached to your checking account. You don't even know what conversations you're missing out on, Mark, and the things that are dividing y'all because you haven't even done it, because you haven't combined it yet.
Rachel, I think you make an incredible relationship point. And that is that we are joint, we are a team, we're not roommates. I could think of example after example, but I'll tell you an example that you made me think of. So we have a daughter, Josie, who's 13, and she and her little friend just decided they wanted to start a bracelet business, these beads.
Yeah.
And I came home the other night, and one of the first things in the door, Stacy said, "Hey, I got to let you know, Josie came to me today. She's all excited about starting this little business." So I told her we would invest, we would buy the first supplies, helped her with pricing, all that stuff. So this was a couple's moment where she was just proud to say, "This is Josie's idea. I went out and it was $40 for all the things."
Yeah.
It wasn't a accountability issue, but it was this idea that it could have been shin guards.
Yes.
Cleats.
Right.
You name the other. But it was like, we had a fun little conversation. It was like, that's awesome.
Yes.
And that's
totally.
a joint account. We tell each other, we can see what we spend.
Yeah.
You don't even have to hold someone accountable when you're just open.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. The accountability thing, that term, I feel like
it does feel weird to people.
It's a little overused too, of like, I'm going to keep you accountable, where it's like, no, I'm actually going to just know what's going on, and we're like married.
I can't spend something without her knowing.
Yes,
it's fantastic.
Right.
So that is built in, but I don't feel like, ugh.
Yes, totally. So yeah, it's a real thing. Again, study after study. Another one, that one that we just talked about that came out last week. That you just have a greater level of satisfaction because you share everything. And John Deloney made the point, and we laugh about it because I'm like, you share your genetics in a child that's running around in front of you. So like, if you can share your bed, if you can share your refrigerator, you share everything.
Share everything.
And the money piece, it may not feel like a big deal because like you feel like it's on the track and it's working. But I'm going to push y'all, Mark. I mean, I would, and I would see how your relationship changes, because your marriage changes when you see yourself 1,000% as one.
Yeah. Totally agree. She's preaching, and she's right.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My wife, for the last 2 years, has wanted to get a mommy makeover. And I haven't heard an answer to this question yet, so I figured I'd give you guys a shot. We collectively make about $180,000 a year. We have two businesses that we own and operate. And last year we jumped on we completed Financial Peace University, and we paid off $25,000 worth of debt that we had.
Way to go.
Currently, thank you. Let's see, we cut up all our credit cards, and we have a net worth of about $950,000.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's been a hard road, but last year I decided to spend some of my free time working more and opened up a handyman business, and I added about $75K on top of our regular income last year.
Way to go.
So is that on top of the 180, or that's what you're at now?
That's on top of the 180K.
Wow, good job.
So you upped it to 250. Is that sustainable? Do you want to continue doing that?
I turned 42 in March, and I want to kind of work hard in my 40s, so hopefully it pays off, and we can retire when we want to sell the businesses in our home and get out of Washington.
Sure.
Good.
So,
what's your question today?
How much is the mommy makeover?
It's somewhere between $28,000 and $35,000, and I have about $50K set aside on top of our
emergency fund.
Emergency fund. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that what you earmarked it for? The $50,000? Is that what you guys said this money is for, or was it originally for something else?
No, we've been putting it away for this, as well as I have a daughter in college, and that our responsibility for her is about $14,000 per year, and we've been paying that, in full in cash when it comes about. And my son just got braces and paid that in cash, and
So you're cash flowing everything. There's no worry about the future and retirement and kids' college, and you've got some extra money, and you want to do the selective surgery for her.
Listen, Mama's getting a new lease on life.
Yeah.
Mama's getting an upgrade.
She is amazing, and she has trouble spending money on herself. And so, I told her I've been putting this money aside, and I want to pay for it for her, and.
Does she want the surgery, or does she want it, or is this a you thing?
No, she wants it.
Okay,
I'm
just
happy
checking.
with the way she is.
Okay.
She's been going through a health thing and getting herself in shape and changing her diet and all this stuff. So this is kind of the icing on the cake for her.
For the good of the group, and knowing this is a family-friendly show, can you entail what this $35,000 includes?
It would be a tummy tuck.
Okay.
And a lift.
Okay, good.
Got it.
Good.
Here's the thing. I think guys do more to their forerunners and spend more on that. So I got no problem with the selective surgery for all the guys. But I can't believe she's spending all that. Listen, bro. Let's talk about that underlight LED kit you needed to have.
Live like no one else, so later you can live like no one else. That's what it's about.
Right. I want her to be happy with her body and happy with herself, and I think that she deserves this so much. So
yeah, I think you can afford it. You guys have been really smart with your money. Congratulations. You guys are young and you've done a lot. And my only question would be, are you guys done having babies?
We are.
Okay.
Yes. No more babies for us. We got.
And are you having an elective surgery?
You don't have to answer that. My money. My play money goes to cars.
Got you. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys have done really well. You're doing it by the book. You guys are debt-free with the emergency fund. You're cash flowing everything in your life. You're on the verge of being a baby steps millionaire. And so this might be a shock to a lot of people listening. I can't believe they said listen.
Do it.
We never said don't spend money. I'm a frugal guy, but once you hit that different place financially, they make a great income.
Yeah.
It's a small part of their world, and they're super young.
Yeah, I love it for them. That's a really, really good treat that they get to enjoy because they've done everything right.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Now, let me set this up very briefly, and we're going to pause it a few times. So stay with us. This is a very popular and viral TikTok, and this is a real sentiment. I want you to understand something. We're not about to show you this and destroy and criticize and belittle the sentiment. We will take issue with some things factually, but understand, and I want to set this up properly. There are millions and millions of Americans, George, who feel the way that this gentleman feels. So take this with a shaker of salt and understand this is why we do what we do here at Ramsey Solutions. Let's roll the video.
If you're making less than $25 an hour right now, you should be terrified. If you are making less than $25, you're going to be very pissed off by the time we get to the end of this video.
All right, pause.
This information here is going to scare the
All right, pause. First of all, okay, what he just said there is not true. You'll be fine if you're making $25 an hour.
We don't go viral on TikTok without some fear-mongering, Ken.
Boy, scare the whoop out of you, he said.
You're not going to sleep tonight if you make less than $25 an hour.
Okay, this is absolute nonsense, but a lot of people feel this way. All right, now, George will tell you how we can do this later. Let's keep going.
I just spent some time looking at some monthly averages of regular costs of living all across the U.S., average costs. And I put them all in a spreadsheet and did all the math for you so you can see exactly what this big picture is here. So these are just normal expenses that most single consumers have, and this is all of them laid out national average right here. The average cost of an apartment is $1,659 a month. With groceries, you're going to spend $500 on that, and you go down the list here. But add all that up, you're looking at $3,285 a month just in your cost of living expenses, which means to break even.
Pause. Now, George, I'm going to let you step in here, but I pointed this out on my show. We're already a little bit out of whack here when you look at just the average vehicle payment. The average used car payment is just a shade under $700 a month.
Insane.
So we're not even working with real numbers here. All right, and then let's just point out that what if you didn't have that car payment? How far would that go, George?
1,000%. Well, one of the reasons people don't have margin is because they are living with payments, giving all of their hard-earned money to lenders every month, and they think, well, this is the path. This is how I get financial freedom. This is what success looks like. But we teach no debt, pay for things with cash, get reasonable used cars. And so this is a big part of the picture of why there's no margin in this person's budget.
That's right. And that's why I pointed this out, America. He's saying you can't make enough. This whole video is if you should be making way more than $25 an hour, which, by the way, I'm for that. That's what I spend a lot of my time doing, helping people make really good money. But to say that the man is keeping you down when we don't even have the car payment correctly put in this budget. And people think that that's just something they've got to carry around. So, all right, let's keep rolling.
And just squeeze by paycheck to paycheck, you have to be making $32.85 every 4 weeks. So this is calculated at your monthly income at a 40-hour work week, so it's your hourly rate times 160 hours for 4 weeks in a month. Because I don't believe anybody should have to work more than a 40-hour week just to survive. Now this tax column represents how much you'd be paying each month in taxes after you add up all your withholdings. I figured this out by looking at my pay stubs from the last time I was an employee about 6 years ago. So you got your gross income, you got your net income after you pay this tax, which would go in this column. I didn't fill it all in. The first time you see a number higher than this number is at $25 an hour. And it could even get worse than that because chances are you're going to be paying more than 16% in total withholdings. Add anything like child support or alimony to that and forget about it. So this leaves you with very limited options. You either have to kill yourself working way, way too many hours, or you've got to figure out a way to make a ton of money.
Pause.
And also keep in
Pause. Sorry, there's the
Love
false
those two
narrative.
options, Ken.
All right, George, that's what I wanted you to weigh in on, because I weighed on this on my show. But this is a false choice.
Well,
Kill yourself.
Most people lose hope because they back themselves into a corner and decide there's only two choices, Ken. Either kill myself working jobs I hate, or that's it. That's it. This is the only path.
Yeah, so you looked at the spreadsheet. There's no advice in this TikTok about controlling spending.
No. So
what issues do you have?
If you're just listening, you're not seeing the spreadsheet, but outlined here, the first number is rent at $16.59, which he claims is the average rent in the U.S. I don't buy that. Now, if you're on the coast, you're in some higher cost of living cities, yes. But let me tell you, Ken, if this is based on a single person, let's say a single young guy.
Right.
That's kind of who he's talking to in this video. Well, I was not living by myself in a nice apartment when I was a single young guy in my entry-level job. I had a roommate. You might have multiple roommates. And so to be paying $16.59 is insane. I would say, well, time to get a roommate. That cuts your rent down to $8.25. And it just gave you $800 in margin back in your life. Now let's pay off that car because you're paying $400 a month towards that car payment, or you sell the car. That's an extra $400 back in our life. Now look what happens, Ken. We have an extra $1,200 of margin that we can breathe.
Don't forget the streaming. He's got $37 down for streaming,
and
which
we
you
can cut
don't
the subscriptions
have to
down.
have.
Yes.
You know.
So there are ways to trim the budget. The question are, what are you willing to do? Because don't tell me you can't. Don't tell me you can't get a roommate. Just say you're unwilling to get a roommate. And this is for a short period of time we're sacrificing. Number one, Ken would say, well, we can help you get your income up.
That's right.
If you don't have enough to make ends meet because of your cost of living, and by the way, $40,000 can go a long way in Idaho, and it may not go a long way in L.A.
And there's the other part of the narrative. So the one is kill yourself working crazy amounts of hours, or go have to make more money. Like, that's a bad thing. The way it's positioned is like, or get a job where you make more money. Oh, like, have to bust it. I can't quiet quit, right? I got. Instead of quiet quitting, how about some gritty greatness, George?
Ooh.
How about that?
That's a new one
Well,
for me.
nobody's talking about that.
Well,
you know?
Ken, we know this, and we're confident about it because we meet people every day, Main Street folks who come to our debt-free stage, and guess what? For a short period of time, they worked extra. They worked more than 40 hours a week. They worked 60 hours a week because they wanted to sacrifice for a short time instead of being in pain for a long time, which is where most of America finds themselves, living in mediocrity for 20 years because they don't want to sacrifice for 2, which, by the way, is the average amount of time it takes for our folks to get out of debt.
I'm going to tell you where this kind of, and again, a lot of people feel this. I get it. But when it's positioned as though you are a victim, and this video, whether meant to be made this way or not, is all about making the person who watched this video feel like a victim, as opposed to saying, wait a second, you don't have to accept this. This isn't some sentence. This may be a season of your life, but it's not a life sentence. The hamster wheel is not your miserable plot that somebody more powerful than you has bestowed upon you.
Yeah. And it
Where's
starts
the rugged
with
individuals?
believing that it can be different and then actions that lead you towards freedom long term. And that's exactly what we do. We have a solution. We're not just trying to rile you up about the problem. We want to show you a way out, show you hope, instead of these hope stealers out there telling you it's everyone else's problem and you're not the solution. This is The Ramsey Show. Art joins us up next in Denver, Colorado. Art, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, guys.
Sure. How you doing?
I'm doing well. So, after doing your baby steps, I'm on step 4, invest 15%, and I've been there for a few months. I don't plan on having children, and I don't have a home. I was curious what your thoughts are about living a digital nomad lifestyle. I work a remote job, and I do pretty well for myself. I have no debt, and I don't really know where to go from here. I want to become more mobile. I currently live on my uncle's property with a very cheap rent and could easily pay this and just leave my stuff here instead of have to get rid of everything. So what are the downsides of not buying real estate in the market right now and kind of living my childhood dream and waiting?
I don't hear any downsides, because
but that sounds too good to be true.
What's too good about it to be true?
Lots of people do it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Is your plan now? You got to have a plan. Are you going to live in an RV, a camper? How are you going to travel? Where are you going to stay?
RV. I have like I said, I have no debt. I've got about $12,000 to throw at going to do the camper thing without touching my emergency fund.
Okay.
And I don't know, I'm kind of hesitant to pull the trigger because I've been trying to live frugally these past few years and get out of the hole that I dug in my 20s.
Right, but are you saying $12,000 is going to pay cash for something, or is that?
Ideally, or I have access to personal interest-free loans from.
We're not doing that.
No. We're not going to recommend that.
Why'd you get out of debt in the first place if you're going to get back into it?
Yeah, see, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay, so if we take that off the table,
he really wants to go for it.
All right, we're on the same page now. So, how much do you make doing this remote job?
I make about $85,000 a year.
So, how long would it take for you to save up the actual full cost of said camper?
Let's say it was $40,000 for a good camper.
Yeah, I would say I could do it by late next year.
Well, there you go.
If I buttoned up and really,
I think you can do better than that. You said you have almost no expenses.
Correct.
So how long would it take to save up 30, make an 85 with very little expenses?
Not that long, but I'm scared of debt now that I've gotten out of it, and so I'm just wanting to take it slow.
Okay, but again,
we're not encouraging you.
We're not encouraging debt. George is just saying how much quicker could you make the $30,000? Maybe if you.
What I'm saying is how out of your paychecks could you take $2,000 or $3,000 and put it in a high yield savings account every single month?
Yes.
That puts you at another $30,000. Add it to the 12, and that gets you a $42,000 RV camper. And now we just travel, and you live that dream, and you continue to do it debt free. You have a paycheck coming in from the remote job. You need to make sure you have internet access. And some people are doing, they have internet access from the camper at all times. You can look into those options as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the truth is, it sounds like there's some fear around jumping into this digital nomad lifestyle. Have you talked to someone who's done it?
No, I haven't. I've been taking Dave's advice and talking to the old rich people that I know because that's who I want to be.
Well, also jump into those communities online and go, hey, I'm new to this. What are some things I need to look out for? Go jump onto some Facebook groups, some Reddit threads, and see what people are saying about this lifestyle, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, and then you can jump in knowing exactly what to expect.
Okay.
And guess what happens? 3 years from now, if you hate this and you go, you know what, I want to settle down, I want to sleep in the same bed every day, you can just stop and decide to do something different. It's not the rest of your life.
Don't take on more debt, even if it's interest-free. Just be patient.
Let me ask you a question. Does the dream include you driving the camper or dragging it behind you? Or is the dream, I want to go here for 3 days, and then if I feel like going somewhere else for 4 days? Is it a combo, or is the camper and the RV thing a big part of this dream?
It's really just going. I just don't like looking out the window and seeing the same thing every day.
Okay, I had a hunch that was the case. And so now that I know that, I wouldn't touch the camper with a 10-foot pole unless you were into that kind of thing. Because that's a asset that is going to go down. It's going to depreciate very, very quickly. And to George's point, if you get out on this digital nomad thing and I just want to go, and then I've bought this thing that's depreciating, then that's a pain in the neck down the road if I change my mind. Versus you're debt free, you got a good amount of cash saved up, you can save up even more, and if you just decide I'm going to drive, I'm gonna buy a real gas friendly car. Or if you've already got one, a very dependable car, I'm going to drive here and then I'm going to drive there. Or if you can afford to, I'm going to fly here and then I'll fly there. If it's about moving around and you can do your work from anywhere, then this is you coming up with a budget and a plan to go, all right, since I don't have rent anymore and I know what my income is, and if I look at, okay, and George, you're the king of this. So like budget-friendly hotels. So if I find a chain and I become a frequent rewards person and I'm paying cash for the hotel rooms and I'm going, all right, I can pay this. And so I've got a budget of, and so I know what my hotel and my food cost. And if I'm flying versus driving, this is just putting all that together and going, okay, this is what it looks like. And if I can only do it 20 days a month based on those financial realities, I know I'm living with my uncle the other 10 days. But I would stay away from the camper and the RV knowing what I know now.
What do you think, Art?
Okay, I think that's more reasonable. I guess I'm really more afraid of not having all my stuff that I've always had.
What stuff?
So the
What
extreme
stuff?
Well, I mean, I've never not stayed in a house for more than like 10, 12 days at a time.
Then here's the idea. First of all, you already said you could store your stuff with Uncle. All right, that's one option. But the other option is, before we commit to this full time, why don't we just try this a week at a time for the next 3 months? What if we take the next 3 months and for 1 week we try this new lifestyle? And we just sit back and go, I always wondered what it was like. Now I'm going to test it without committing full time.
Yeah. How old are you, Art?
Okay. I'm 31.
Okay.
Yeah, I like testing this.
I just think you need to take the pressure off of yourself as if you step into this and this has to be your life for the next 40 years, regardless of what happens.
Okay. I think that's where my stress is coming from. Like, what if I don't like it once I get out there? So
that's
great.
Just take off in the car first.
Yeah.
And then make sure that works.
Yeah. Try that whole hotel
and
thing
make sure I
and
can
food
do it
thing. Yeah.
Financially responsibly.
That's it. Try it on a mini level, right? We're going to mini commit to this thing. We're going to test it. And then the testing is going to clarify all of this for you, and you're going to go ding, 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 or eh.
And you might realize, you know what, this ain't for me.
That's right.
And that's okay. And you might just go, I need to travel at least once a month and have a trip to look forward to. And that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
But as long as you do it debt-free, there's no need to stress about the possibility of going into debt if you just say, oh, I'm just a guy who doesn't go into debt. I'm not going to do interest-free loans. I'm not going to owe anyone anything. I'm going to use my debit card. I'm going to pay cash for the RV. I'm going to have an emergency fund for all the expenses involved with this, and I know what to expect. So jump into those communities, ask those types of questions. They're always happy to talk about it and share their experiences, even share their numbers of here's what the actual cost is. I thought it was going to be basically living for free. Turns out it's $7,000 a month if you want to do it big. And so do your homework, do the research, but I don't see any issue with you jumping into this. Today's question comes from Jason in Alabama. He says, my wife and I recently paid off all credit cards and student loans totaling $32,000. I'm a finance manager for a car dealership, and one of the perks of my job is that I can buy new and used vehicles for great prices. We have 2 auto loans of $40K and $50K. We typically keep a vehicle for a short period of time and then sell the vehicle to claim the retail profits. We've always made more than we've paid on or for the vehicle. I'm new to your show, and I need you to tell me if I'm being irresponsible, or is my ability to buy and sell for profits on vehicles a, quote, unique position to use to my advantage. I'm aware that I'm likely to get the rough talk for having dumb debt, and maybe that is what I need. That's interesting. Well, at least he's self-aware. That helps.
He's Dave-aware.
Dave-aware. That's a whole new level of self-awareness. Wow. Interesting situation here. So they're $90,000 in debt, But he's saying, well, Dave, I'm just flipping. It's like flipping houses. What's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Well, I can tell you there's better ways to make money than on these depreciating assets. And the fact that he's a finance manager for a car dealership tells me that he is used to going into debt, helping people go into debt, and he thinks he's above the system because he's figured it out. He's making money off the system. But I don't think that will last long, and I if I'm in his position, I'm not doing it. But that's one man's opinion who does not like debt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously we're going to tell you not to do debt, son. Here's the thing you're not calculating. You have over-calculated the profits and under-calculated the risks. That's what you've done. And time will prove me to be true when you get your freaking head taken off. And I don't know what form it'll take. It could be a pandemic. It could be you just lose your job. And now you got $90,000 in cars. Debt. That's scary. Now, are you buying cars and making a profit on them? I don't doubt that at all. I think that's very possible. Lots of people around the car business do that, especially right now. It's very possible to do that. So, but we're not going to use debt to finance that if you're asking Dave Ramsey and George Camel, because we don't like the risk associated with it. That puts your family in peril for the few dollars that you're making on it. And yes, you're right. You have rationalized your butt off, son. I mean, you've figured out every way that this works and no way that it doesn't work. And that's what it means by your risk meters not working. So the deal.
So if he wants to do this, pay cash for the car, then flip it. You keep all the profits.
Absolutely. So I would get rid of these, and then I would save up money and buy a car for cash that I can flip. And if you want to roll in and out of cars with cash and make a profit on them, that's cool. Let me tell you what will happen when you do that. You're going to do fewer deals. Because when you buy something with borrowed money, you do not analyze it as careful because it doesn't feel real. When you're buying it with your money out of your savings account,
it's different.
It's like, I'm not sure about this. And you have it's a different feeling, right? And so what it amounts to is you're emotionally accepting the risk when you pay cash for it.
Yeah.
And when you borrow money into anything, you don't think about it as much. It's too easy. Quote, easy payments. It's easy to purchase. Press hard with that pen as you're signing. There's 3 copies. You have to get through all the carbon. I mean, that's the way you're thinking. It's the only stress involved.
And when this market calms down, there may not be much profits to be had at that point.
I think if you buy a $50,000 car for $40,000, you're probably always going to be able to turn it for a $10,000 profit. I mean, and the market's not going to suddenly change and catch you there. I'm more afraid of a major change in something else where just people quit buying cars all of a sudden for some reason. I mean, pandemic is an extreme example. I don't think we're going to see that again. I hope we don't. I've never seen it in my lifetime. Anything where it just shut everything
No one's driving
down.
Anywhere.
But the point being, what that did was, what the pandemic did for all of us was it validated that what we've been teaching. And so the big deal, Jason, is this. What we teach you about money works. It's the only system for money that works in good times and bad times. There are some systems that work only in bad times, and some systems like yours that work only in good times. See, debt only works when debt works. When everything works out the way it's supposed to,
perfect.
That's when it works. But what it does do is when you're stupid is stress tested, and when things aren't going good and stress comes along to your stupid, you'll go, oh my God, that's stupid. And it didn't look stupid. When everything's going good, stupid can feel smart because you're not measuring risk. And I know, I've done it. I've done it with big zeros on the end. So, how can it go wrong to buy a rental property if the renter pays your rent? Until the renter doesn't pay the rent. And then you still have the rental property. Oh, by the way, not only do they not pay the rent, they go into Chapter 13. Oh, worse than that, they go into Chapter 7. So it's 4 months before the federal injunction about you contacting your debtor. As a creditor, it's illegal for you to contact your tenant in any way while they're in Chapter 7 until the court gives you permission. And it can be 3-4 months before you can even contact them. So now where's your renter that pays the rent? See, your stupid just got stress tested. And it was revealed. The cracks, the fissures in the earthquake, in the tectonic plates shifted, and boom, you get caught. And you're like one of those dinosaur movies. You fall into the volcanic
crater.
Volcanic crater, you know. So beware of that. So, Jason, we would tell you, yes, I would keep flipping cars, but only with cash, and that means you got to get rid of these two. Wow, we weren't unclear with that. We weren't too rough.
No,
that wasn't too rough.
Right there.
It could have been rougher, but we're just.
He's Dave aware though, so we went easy
since
on
he
him.
was ducking about rough, I thought it'd be nice, ish.
Mike, how can we help?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yeah, you bet. What's happening?
So, first-time caller, long-time listener.
Oh, I love this one. That's
yeah. Well on my way to debt-free living. Only because listening to you guys over the years, I appreciate it so much.
You bet.
So my question is, back in my stupid finance times, like 2005, 2007, I made some really dumb business decisions, I feel. I have one outstanding debt from a company I probably shouldn't mention. So there was like a $37,000 debt balance that I was kind of wheeling with them about 3 years ago. About a year and a half ago, I was working with a company I was trying to settle. I was trying to pitch them like $18,000 to settle on the $37,000. They denied it, and we kind of lost contact about a year and a half ago. Recently received a letter from them that they're willing to settle this whole thing for like $5,000. This is a business line of credit. I am the owner of the company. So I'm just need some advice as to if you were me, would you follow through and pay that $5,000 or just tell them to go jump in a lake?
Well, did you take out the amount of debt? The 37?
It's certainly my debt, yes. But as I said, they hadn't contacted me. They kind of lost communication with them. Wouldn't do the 18. Now coming back for 5. I guess I just need some advice which direction to go.
I would be grateful it's at 5, and I would stop losing sleep over it and pay them the 5 and move on with my life. But I would not just ignore this and tell them to kick rocks and pound sand. I mean, you took out the debt. You signed your name on the paper.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
you do the thing, have the integrity to just go, all right, it was a long time ago. I could probably ignore it and have it go away, but, man, I'm going to sleep better at night knowing I did the right thing. So you're so close, man.
Yeah, and there's nothing on my credit report regarding this. Nothing. They haven't sent me in or done anything like that.
Oh, good.
And that's why I'm like, where I'm at right now. I'm more than willing to take responsibility for it. I just, like I said, I just have never been in this situation and want to kind of know
just be sure to get it in writing that this thing is clear.
Yeah.
Yep.
That you have no more relationship with them. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and there's this, I love that he's asking the question. I love that he's willing to be transparent to go, okay, do I do this or do I just say, forget it, man? It's
not on my record.
The statute of limitations, and he's making and there's just something that it does for your soul to settle this thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, on one side, there's the integrity and character of, of course. I took out the debt. On the other side, it really does free you. And you don't realize the weight that these situations have in our minds, on us physically. I mean, it's absolutely incredible once you really look at it.
Yeah,
so
it really is.
I'm doing it, Ken. Getting rid of the debt once and for all.
Too.
Brooke is in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Hi, Brooke. What's up?
Hey, Dave. Hey, George. How are you guys?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
So this is a money question, but it's mostly an emotional, psychological question, I think. My husband and I want your advice on whether or not we should go home to visit family for Christmas this year. The backstory for that is that we live here in Mississippi, and both of our families live in the north. And every year it's our routine to stop in Ohio, go to New York, and come back because we're the only ones that live in the south. My husband is getting his PhD in genetics at USM. I'm super proud of him about that. So, and we have the only grandchild on both sides of the family. So everyone very much wants to see us.
Yeah, you have great bait.
Come see us if you want to see the grandchild. You come to Mississippi. It's a Mississippi Christmas.
Oh yeah, and she's the sweetest too. I love her. But anyway, so we've been working our baby steps, and it has been a bit of an uphill battle with my husband still in his PhD program. And I'm trying as best as I can to be a stay-at-home mom and still bring in the income that we need to do everything we need to do. But we've paid off probably close to $20,000 in debt, and the last that we have left is about $5,000 left on a credit card.
I would choose to spend this Christmas in Mississippi and invite everyone to come see you.
And if they don't want to go, that was their choice. And you guys are going to have a great little Christmas.
It's just 1 year. 1 year. And they're more than welcome. We'd love to have them. Nobody's mad at anybody. We just can't do it this year. I'm so sorry. By the way, when you go through your life, it changes as to who visits who with the different phases of your life. Today's question is from Ricky in Washington. He said, David, just gone through my second beater car. Tired of being on a first-name basis with the AAA tow truck driver. I'm out of debt. I have my emergency fund saved, and I have the money to get a little nicer car. Having a hard time parting with it because I worked so hard to save it. Can you talk a bit about the struggle people have with spending money, even when they have it to spend? Yeah, it's so hard to finally get some in savings. It's hard to release it, especially if you're wired as a saver. Now, I'm wired as a spender. My wife is wired as a saver. Usually we fall in one of two categories. I think you're wired as a saver. She gets great comfort from having that pile of money more than she would get great comfort from having a reliable car. Me, I'd rather have a reliable car. Past the emergency fund. You're at this is an emotional thing at this point. It's not a financial thing. I have the money, but I have trouble releasing it. And so what that says is you're just getting some, it's a normal thing and it's not a bad thing, but it just says I get security from that extra money beyond my emergency fund. And I'll tell you this, I think it's something we all have to work at one of our money skills. There's really three basic money skills that you have. Spending properly, reasonably. Learning to enjoy money falls under spending. Learning to enjoy life with your money, which is kind of what your question's about. The second one's saving. You got to learn to save money for emergencies, for college, for retirement, to change your family tree, to build wealth. You got to learn to invest. You got to learn to ride the investment waves like we've had in the stock market in the last couple of weeks. Right? And giving. The power of generosity to completely change you when you learn to give as the natural rhythm of your life. It changes everything. So, giving, saving, and spending. Everyone has at least one of those that they struggle with. Mine is saving. I'm a spender. It's no trouble for me to enjoy money. It's also no trouble for me to give money. A lot of spenders, it's easy for them to be generous. Because the release of money doesn't bother us as much as it does a saver. But I'm weak at saving. And that's why God makes me teach this every day. I'm no longer weak at saving, but it wasn't my natural default. I had to intellectually decide to have an act of my will to save and invest. And really what drove me to do that as a spender-giver is that I would have more to spend and give if I built more wealth. I can spend more and give more. And that's my only reason for saving. It's not because I just love saving money. I still don't to this day. It's not. So you're on the other side of this, Ricky, is what we're saying. You don't enjoy spending. We don't know about giving. You didn't address that in your thing. Sometimes I can get spenders or savers like this to turn loose of their money first by increasing their giving. And then that kind of gives them permission to also enjoy the money themselves. But it would be a shame to save and work and not enjoy some of your money. And one of the things you should enjoy is a reliable vehicle. And you don't have a reliable vehicle. You've been doing beaters. And so, you need to go buy the car. You already knew that. You weren't asking about that, but you already knew that. But maybe also take a little bit of that money and give it. Find some place to be generous at your church, or find a couple that's struggling, or a single mom that didn't pay her light bill for a year, or whatever. But find something to do, because there's something about giving that kind of then gives you permission down inside your spirit to also enjoy money. Because money's fun if you got some. You ought to enjoy it. You ought to enjoy some nice things. Now, if that's all you do and you don't save and you don't give, then you're just a shallow twerp, right? But, to assume that just because someone has the ability to enjoy money means that they're greedy or shallow, that's just bogus. And the way you can tell is what percentage of their financial situation is going towards stuff for them. And if all the money you make is going to buy you crap, then you're out of balance, But if you're giving a percentage of your income, and you're investing a good percentage of your income, and you're enjoying some of your income on lifestyle purchases, travel, cars, clothes, whatever it is, then that's in balance once you're at baby step 3 and beyond. And that's where Ricky is. But it's a really good question, Ricky. It's a good question for me to stop and just kind of rant on or vent on for a second here, teach on for a second, because sometimes people think, well, no one should ever have a car like that. What would anyone need a house like that for? Now, I've got a friend that's worth about $3 billion. Now, a billion is 1,000 million. He has 3,000 million. He has 3,000 million. He spent $6 million on his house. And people sent him hate mail. No one should ever have a house like that. His house, as a percentage of his net worth and his income, is like you going through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A and buying a biscuit. It didn't affect his life one iota to spend $6 million on a house. As a matter of fact, that's a very conservative house for someone who has $3 billion. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. So when I was growing up, a little redneck kid outside of Nashville in the burbs, these little houses all in a row, had a neighborhood full of kids, and the kids would run in and out of the house and in and out of the house all day long and leave the door open. And my mother would say classic things like, were you raised in a barn? Like, no, I was raised in suburbia, but yeah. And so, finally, somewhere in the heat of the summer and the air conditioning having all spilled out of the house, the heat is now filled the house, and it filled her head too. And her frustration level would reach it. And she would say, that's it. The worm has turned. We had no idea what that meant, except that the beatings were about to begin. And so we would all get scarce real fast and no more in and out of the house. We were just out of the house at that point. The worm has, I didn't even know what it meant. I found out later it was Shakespeare. Who knew Mom knew Shakespeare?
Dude, your mom was
the worm has turned. I'm like, what does that mean? Except things are about to get ugly. So, yeah, but, that's what happens. This is the secret of how you become disciplined. The worm has turned. That's it. Les Brown, the great motivator, used to say, people change their lives when they finally say, I've had it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's changing your life is not changing your habits, becoming suddenly disciplined in something you weren't, is not an intellectual exercise. It's an emotional, spiritual exercise.
Well, and nowadays we have so much access to so many opinions, informed and uninformed. We have countless plans. And so we delude ourselves by researching a bunch. There's been seasons, Dave, when the time I spent researching the right workout, if I just went down and worked out, it would have been less time than I spent just trying to get the perfect. All right, what a waste of time, right? So just go do the thing.
Yeah, when in doubt,
go do the thing.
Something.
Yeah, go do it.
Yeah, and that changes everything. So some of you listening right now, get out your credit cards right now. Cut them up.
right this second, it's time for plastic surgery. It's time for a plastectomy. And later, you can write it in your journal that it occurred. But freaking do it. Go do it.
Or text your wife or your husband and say, we need to talk tonight. Text right now. We need to talk tonight. Whatever that.
I just cut up your cards.
Yeah. We're going to have some, it's going to be tough this month. But send that text right now. There's no going back. Go do the thing. Get up from your desk right now and go for a walk. So right now.
The reason I bring that back up is not to fuss at the last caller. That's not the point. The point is this is a common thing that is a human condition. John and I suffer from it. All of you suffer from it. How do we go about embracing doing the hard thing to get to the easy? And John, you've got a great saying, choose your heart. Oh, by the way, you don't know this. I forgot to tell you. I was going to tell you off air, but I'll just tell you right now. So a neighbor of mine came to the event we did with Mike Rowe, and you went through the whole choose your heart. Okay? You can choose to lower your caloric intake and lose some weight, increase your exercise, or choose to be on the operating table for heart surgery from your obesity. Right?
Both of those are hard paths.
Both are hard. So choose your heart. You said you did a whole talk on that. So my neighbor, who's a good friend of mine, was in the audience. He has lost 150 pounds since that talk.
No way.
And it's all because of that.
Wow.
Because of your talk.
That's amazing.
He said it clicked. It made sense to me. I was with him last night.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's a great guy.
That's incredible. Yeah.
He was big.
Yeah.
And he's lost a Backstreet Boy. I mean, it's like ridiculous.
Yeah, he lost James Childs and James' little pet poodle dog he has. That's amazing.
James and his dog.
Wow. But I think the illusion is
choose your heart.
Spinning my wheels gets me somewhere.
Yeah, it's hard to work extra. It's hard to not go out to eat. It's hard to stay home from vacation while your broke friends are going and spending money they don't have. It's hard to live on a controlled budget like a grown-up instead of a child that acts like they live in Congress and they spend whatever they want. It's hard to do. The discipline is hard, but you got to choose your heart because otherwise you're going to be broke.
And it's hard.
Stay broke.
It's hard to be scared when your kids need braces. It's hard being scared when I remember when I was broke, Dave, I called my friend and said, hey, do you have some money on a credit card? I got to go to the ER, have something checked out. That was a shameful, embarrassing call I made at 26 years old. Like, that's hard too, right? So you're not...
Yeah, asking your parents to move back in when you're 35 years old.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Wanting to marry somebody and saying, I'm going to be more of a burden to them than not. Like, that's hard. So choose which difficult path. It's not like one's easy and one's not. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And so the problem is when you don't choose to take the steps to live like no one else so that later you live and give like no one else, you don't choose to do the things that cause you to become wealthy. By default, you have chosen mediocrity. By default, you've chosen to retire broke and hope the government will take care of you, which is well known for its ability to handle money. By default, you're going to be working in McDonald's or be a Walmart greeter when you're 68 because you didn't choose the hard earlier.
It's just there's just no easy path. Yeah.
That's once I get that about something,
then it's go time.
Then I can go. It's game on.
Right.
And I can flip the switch, and so can you, and so can everybody else. But we all have to consciously, intentionally choose to delay pleasure, and delaying pleasure is emotionally a sign of maturity. It's a sign of emotional and spiritual maturity. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but it yields a harvest of righteousness. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
I had a question, basically. I'm 25. I just had twins 2 weeks ago.
Ooh.
Or 3 weeks ago.
Congrats.
And I actually had a stroke last week, a small one, but I'm doing better now, and I'm back at work, actually.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
I also have a toddler. He's 2, and that being said, about 2 years ago when my son was first born, I got into a really horrible financial decision. This is before I knew the Dave Ramsey show and everything that y'all preach about. I got a car from my wife because we needed 2 vehicles. I was working out of town. And when I say I have a horrible interest rate, it's horrible. It's 22%. It was a stupid decision. I'm debating on either doing a voluntary repossession. It's not that I can't afford the vehicle, but it's just I've had the vehicle 2 years, and $2,000 has been paid towards the principal with $500 a month payments. another thing being said, I did recently get approved to get refinanced at a lower interest rate. Still not great, but it's at 13%.
I'll take it.
So I'm basically asking if I should refinance it or just go ahead and do a voluntary repossession.
Why can't you sell it? How far underwater are you?
It's pretty bad. The vehicle's worth $7,500, and I owe about $18,200. It was a horrible decision on my part. At the time, I was extremely desperate for a vehicle. Went to the first place I could. Didn't even look around. She needed a vehicle, and I needed my truck for work. I was working about 4 hours from home at the time and staying out of town. And she, of course, had our newborn son, my oldest one, who is currently 2.
What other debt do you have?
I have a credit card I owe $400 on. I'm actually going to pay that off today. And then I have my truck, which I owe $7,000 on. That the truck loan, it is a low interest rate because I did a collateral loan on it. We moved into a house renting it, and it was.
What's the truck worth?
The truck's worth pretty much what I owe on it. It's worth about $9,500, and then I have a vehicle that is paid off, another truck. So the reason I was debating voluntary repossession of the Jeep was I would give her the truck that I currently owe on. It's a nicer truck, big back seat. It'll fit all 3 of the kids, the double stroller in the back, and it's got the best AC I've ever had.
Why can't you drive the paid-off truck and sell the truck with the loan on it?
That's what I'm currently doing. I'm currently driving my paid-off vehicle for work. I'm a welder, and then my other truck,
you said there's $2,000 in equity in that one.
Yeah, I could probably, if I were to sell this one, the paid-off one, I could probably get about $6,000 or $7,000 for it.
So why can't you sell that one and drive the one that's got $7,000 to go?
Because it's kind of a funny situation with that one. That one, I don't necessarily make the payment on it, if that makes sense. I have 12 siblings, and one of my younger brothers is actually making the payment on it every month. So he pays the insurance, he pays the payment every month. It was to kind of help him out in a sense and to kind of get rid of that payment for me.
How is that helping him out?
Well, because
he's making a payment on a car he doesn't drive.
Is he on it, or did you guys co-sign together?
No, the loan's completely in my name. My dad wrote us up a contract to where once the loan's paid off, the title goes to him, and then if for some reason he doesn't want the vehicle, by the time he pays it off, then everything he put into it, if he does not get any of it back, it would just go towards the loan balance, and then I would.
Okay, this financial inbreeding, it needs to stop. This is chaos. What you guys have done to your family's finances.
Yeah, it's kind of a sticky situation because he's 18 and he went out and about and he was going to be in the same situation I was in. He was actually he called me for advice today. He was about to. I said, man, I'm the last one you want to call for advice.
So let's not go down. Let's not trace that rabbit too far. So the car's supposed to go to him. There's $2,000 in equity in it. He's been paying the note. Can you just get this out of your hair and just?
Yeah, so that's our next step with the bank. We're actually talking to the bank about getting the truck that I have the loan on out of my name and financing it into his name.
Yeah.
The only situation with that is because he's only 18. They're wanting to give him a lot higher interest rate on it.
Okay, but that's
not nothing down or nothing.
That's not your problem. You need to give him the ultimatum of, hey, this weekend we either go and move this into your name, or I'm keeping it and I'm doing what I will with it. Like that ends this weekend. That's what I'm doing.
And then what's your household income right now? Is wife staying home with the kids?
Yeah, she's a stay-at-home mom. I make about currently probably $5,000 a month net.
Okay. You guys have a lot of car in your life. You either need to save up the difference that you're underwater on, or you need to go get a loan for the difference to lower your debt amount. I don't know that you'll qualify for that, but do not do a voluntary repo. It's going to destroy your financial life. They're going to sell it at auction for pennies versus what you could sell it for, and then you're still going to owe the difference. Do not do this.
CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.